Greetings. Welcome to Krishna Song Camp. I'm Michael Cassidy, and we're going to talk about Humble Abode, Part 3. This is where we get into the solo. It's a very melodic solo, and if you can sing a solo, you can play a solo. So let's just kind of go over the melody. I'll sing it a little bit as I go. I'll do it nice and slow, and we'll listen to it, get it in our ear. It's a lot easier to do that than it is to, talk about all the beats and so forth, because melodies can be elusive. So let's get it in our ear. That'll be the way to do this. It comes in right after the end of the chorus. Made a sacred place, da 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 da. That's the first part of it. And it's happening as the other one did here at position 9. The melody happens on 2 strings, the G and the B string. And there's one note that, and at the end we use the E string a little bit. But we'll get to that. So here we are. We're raking across this drone right up to the melody. And we're kind of doing that double stop. We need those 2 notes for the melody. Da, 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 da. And then we move up to position 12, and we play both these notes at the same time. Second finger on the 13th fret, B string, and third finger on the 14th fret, G string. And then we do this hammer-on pull-off with our first and second finger on the B string. You're playing the 12th fret note there and hammering down on the 13th fret and then pulling off. And then back to the double stop. So you got that, you're halfway there. Now from this part we go da da dee da da da. So you got you're droning on that 1, 2, da 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 1, 2 da da 1, 2 and 3 da 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 and 3 da 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 dee da da da. And the way we harmonize that first note, da, is we play this little triad. We use our second finger on the D string, 10th fret, first finger on the G string, 9th fret, and our third finger on the B string, 10th fret. Now, with our first finger, we're also covering the B string so that we can lift this, get the second note of the melody. Da, 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 da. Remember, that's the melody. So we go. And I'm playing this note with my pinky finger, which you could do with your third finger. But I like to hold all the notes on, and I can do that if I use this finger, it's hard. So I do what's easy. That's the way I do it. Da 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 da, then back. So we got this chord, dee da da, and then up to that melody note, da 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 da. And then when we get that note there on the first finger G string, 9th fret, we slide it down to position 2. And then we hit that note. Dee da da dee da 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 da. Dee da da dee, da dee da da dum, dee da da dee da. And then here we're going to go up. We're going to put our second finger on the third fret from the capo, and then open D. We're going to mute out the A string. We have an open D, then we have all these fingers are on the same fret, third above the capo. Second on the low E, muting out the A, D's open, and then third finger on the G string, and pinky finger on the B string, and the E's open. So you got no. So it's da 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 da. And the way to get to that first note of the melody is you drone right up to it. Da. And then you let it ring. Da 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 da. Remember, all these drones are on the first beat of the measure. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1. Another drone on the first beat. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, let's get up to there. Whoops, sorry, forgot the hammer-on pull-off. It's a little hard to play slow if you're not used to it, but I like it because then you can hear it better. One more time. Okay, so this is this part right here. D da da, that change from this D to this E minor 7 with our pinky on the. That's the hardest part of the solo for me, anyways. You know, when you're up to speed. And instead of doing ba da dee, it could be maybe, and that's my problem there. Da da dee, da dee 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 da dee. Yeah, if you do it as quarter notes. Dee da dee dee da. Dee da dee da dum. Dee dee dee. Okay, so dee da. So it's the D, B string, and the open E. So it's like a D, a sus2 thing. D da, and then here's E minor with just your finger on the low E string, and then your third finger on the A string, like you played the E minor before, but you're just going to do it with 2 fingers and leave that note open. That'll be the minor 7. And the melody, we need our pinky for that, so it's up here. D da dee, and then D over F sharp, and that's the next melody note. D da dee dee D, open B string. D da dee dee, then G string there. Hit that A. D da dee dee dum bum. So then you mute out the A string with this finger and just sweep right up to the B string. That's the melody note. Dee da dee 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 da. Dee dee da. And then in second finger or first finger on the G string, second fret from the capo. Dee da on the open G string. Da dee da. Dee da dee 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 da. Dee da dee da dum. Dee da. And then you sweep from the drone up to the D string, third finger on the fourth fret above the capo. And then open G, da, and then first finger, D, D, da, D, one drone, D, da, D, and then just play the melodies there, D, da, D, then bass note. We're really done the melody, now we're just doing a few embellishments. D, da, D, boom, D, da, D, 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 da, D, boom, D, da, D, D. D, 1, 2, 3 into 1, and then you imitate that. There's an imitation of that on the D string. Da da da, bass note. Dee dee dee, another double pull off. Dee 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 da, da dee da dee, dee dee dee, dee dee dee, boom, dee dee dee. Dee da dee, dee dee dee, dee dee dee, dee dee dee. As we came off the hill, and then there it is. You're ready to head home at that point. Oh wait, the solo. The solo was after that part. So the next part is years ago on that hill, blessings fell from above. Okay, that was the solo. The only other thing I'm going to play here is the ending of the song has a partial, that solo, but not all the way through, so I want to play that. Back up the road from that humble abode, though fragile and old, it still shelters my soul. Oh, that humble abode. Now that isn't that last little riff isn't the ending on the record, but this is a singer-songwriter thing, and you have to end it with something, so I stole that from the end of another song that I wrote. It's one of the Average Soul albums. I'm not going to tell you. If you can write down the name of the song I stole that from on the Krishna Song Camp feed there, I'll give you a free album of your choice. Okay, so there it is. And the way you play that riff is just, you're going up, dee-da-da, first bottom three notes open, then first finger on the second fret, then a third finger on the fourth fret, first finger on the G string, second fret, third finger on the D note, B string, and then an open E, and just add a little retard with it, the D chord. Okay, that's it. Anyways, I hope that will help you play the solo. Some of you are advanced enough, you can just listen to the original and figure out what to do yourself, so that's good. And this is to help some of those that maybe can't do that and they still want to play the song and make a nice presentation of it. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. This is a very dear song to me. It was my revisiting of the place where I joined the Hare Krishna temple at the old farm in New Vrindavan. And it was great. And it was great to go back 30 years later, and it was so inspirational, I wrote a song about it. So I hope you enjoy it. God bless you. Hare Krishna.